to alimony starting July 1st. It essentially eliminates permanent alimony in the state of Florida, and it allows ex-spouses to more easily make changes to the alimony once they reach retirement. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's break it all.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. On July 1st, 2023, a bill that was signed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis officially went into effect. Some of you might know it as the bill that gets rid of permanent alimony or alimony paid for the rest of your life. Well, there's actually a lot more in this bill than just the part about getting rid of the alimony. So let's get into it as I provide you with the parts of the bill and my opinion on the bill itself at the end. Links to the articles are in the description. I am not a lawyer, and you should talk to an attorney or lawyer if you live in Florida and want to know how this bill is going to affect you. The numbers at the bottom of the slide will match the article numbers in the description. With disclaimers aside, let's get into it. So let's go through each of these slides as I show you exactly what this bill is trying to state. Florida statutes previously recognized 4 different types of alimony a court may grant. Bridge the gap alimony, payments made to help the supported ex-spouse make the transition to being single and financially independent. Rehabilitative alimony, payments as part of a specific plan made to help the ex-spouse learn or regain skills or credentials or acquire work experience needed to get employed. Durational alimony, payments made for a set period of time after a marriage of short or moderate duration or after a long marriage as determined by the court if permanent alimony is not needed. Permanent alimony, which has now been changed. The payments made for the duration of an ex-spouse's life, generally following a long marriage. So again, the permanent alimony is no longer in effect. That's why it's circled in red. What does this bill mean for people paying or receiving alimony? Now keep in mind, this is United States of America. It would be unconstitutional to affect existing alimony settlements that are non-modifiable agreements, as those are legally binding, and all the courts can do is uphold them. It does allow for someone currently paying alimony to seek modifications by going through the courts if the original agreement is modifiable. Again, talk to your lawyer or attorney. What else does the bill do? The bill also adds the possibility of lump sum payments and adds the burden of proof to the person seeking support to prove that they need it. So essentially what the bill is doing, it allows you, instead of paying alimony over a certain amount of years, you can give a lump sum amount. And whoever is seeking the alimony needs to prove that they need the alimony. This bill also removes tax consequences and sources of income such as investments of any asset from consideration by the court. What this means is that your 401k and other investments cannot be considered as part of the alimony payout. It will allow, if an agreement can be modified, judges to reduce or terminate alimony, support, or maintenance payments after considering a number of factors such as age and health of the person, customary retirement age, the economic impact, the adultery of either spouse resulting in economic impact, the existence of a supportive relationship between the ex-spouse receiving payments and another non-related party, and so forth. New marriage lengths on other alimony. A short-term marriage is now in Florida considered to be one lasting less than 10 years, previously 7. A moderate-term marriage lasts between 10 and 20 years, previously 7 to 17, and a long-term marriage, previously defined as 17 years or longer, is now 20 years or more. Again, this is more important if you look at the other forms of alimony. The changes to the durational alimony include people married for less than 3 years are no longer eligible for durational alimony in Florida. Durational alimony may not last longer than 50% of the length of a short-term marriage. So, essentially, if you are married 4 years, it cannot last longer than 2. 60% of the length of a moderate-term marriage or 75% of the length of a long-term marriage, unless there are exceptional circumstances. And again, that is up to the court. The amount is what the court determines to be a reasonable need or an amount not to exceed 35% of the difference between both spouses' net incomes, whichever is less. The need for maintaining the quality of life established during the marriage has been removed. Changes to the rehabilitative alimony. Payments as part of the specified plan made to help the ex-spouse learn or regain skills, credentials, or acquire work experience needed to get employed is now capped at 5 years. No longer than 5 years do you have to receive this. Does it affect child support? The section on child support is largely left alone, but now if one of the divorced parents of a child living more than 50 miles apart when the time-sharing order was declared moves within 50 miles of the other parent, it is considered a substantial and marital change in circumstances for the purpose of a modification. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my opinion on the subject. I believe this is actually a step in the right direction. No, it's not a landslide win by any means. There are some big changes being made to try and make marriage a bit more equal as far as the men are concerned. This is a win for men's rights and women who are actually interested in what marriage is supposed to represent. This is obviously not a win for gold diggers, dishonest women, and career married women who've had 4+ marriages. A point that will come up is, what about when a man steps out on a woman or abuse, etc. is involved? All right, ladies, I understand that. And trust me, the men do too. We understand those outliers. But not every law is going to fix every circumstance or possible scenario. We got into this mess by trying to fix those exact situations that were the outliers, and because the government did not want to pay the bill. There's only one argument that women can logically make in support of marriage. Do you as the man trust your family to act in your best interest if you pass on to the next life? Essentially, how ironclad is your will? Can it be successfully contested by family, especially if you have young children, in case you pass? That is the only logical argument a woman can make in favor of marriage in today's day and age. With this understanding, women who want to be married should be celebrating this. The more equal marriage contract becomes, the more men will be open to the idea of marriage. I do hope this will spread to other states, and maybe child support will be the next to become more reasonable. If we are ever going to heal the rifts between the men and women for future generations, changes like this bill are going to be a great start. And beware, ladies and gentlemen, those who don't want these changes, as they have a completely different agenda. Have a story to tell? Email me and I'll put it in a future video. That's all for today's video. Please like and subscribe for more videos as I work to find a middle ground between the extremes of the dating market to help you.